Alright, try them out. Part 3 of today's coverage, and this one's just going to be just a few vehicles that we have recently gotten that are acid rain, well, potentially acid rain, I'm not confirmed. And on top of that, some just close-up shots that we didn't have before of the Space Marines, the upcoming Space Marines release from Joy Toy. Alright, let's break it down. Now, switching back over to some of the Warhammer stuff just to keep it going, because of course this is my most exciting thing that I'm most excited for. But Damon posted up a couple of photos of just some of the full releases that we got, right? But just a little bit closer. So here we get a better view of one of the intercessors. And I think that they look great. He mentioned that the paint looked a little bit different. I'm not sure if I can tell. I think that they were more cleaner before and now they look a little more roughed up. So maybe these are what the final product are going to look like, but overall it's great. The sizing of the gun looks awesome. It's not overly sized. Paintwork looks perfectly fine, and I just really love what they're doing here. I'm ready for these. I'm ready to spend the money. This close-up right here really solidifies how good that these guys are going to look. Obviously, this is a much larger head than what would be a regular head that we've gotten on Joy Toy stuff before. So there's a little more space here to do things like making that eye look absolutely incredible. That eye looks really realistic. I really appreciate that they're able to get that level of detail in these guys because they deserve it, and these are probably not going to be cheap, so they might as well just go all the way out and give us everything we want with these, including scale, so that we can, you know, just spend the money. I'm willing to spend extra if we're going to get stuff that's this good. And here we have one of the other guys that we get in this set. This is one of the fully helmeted guys. It looks perfectly fine. It looks good. It looks it has the exact same paintwork as the other one, though this one seems a little cleaner. So I'm not quite sure. Maybe some of them have varying levels of you know, paint wear and things like that. But overall itself, it looks great, and the red eyes is phenomenal. And then this right here is an absolute money shot. This is probably my favorite looking one. I like the fact that he has the visor up. The head is exposed. You can see the eyes. And he has the two swords, which are able to be sheathed and pulled out, which is just incredible at a 1/18 scale. And his gun looks pretty cool as well. And I mean, you can, these are modular, right? You can switch everything around that you want. But this is a money shot right here. This guy looks absolutely fantastic. This is probably one of the ones that I'm most excited for out of all of them. But I'm excited for all of them. I don't care which one I get. I just want them all. But again, it's really nice to see the level of detail that we're getting, including sheath weapons, which again is something that we don't always see. You know, I was just talking to Damon the other day, and he was letting me know that some of this World War II stuff has shown with guns that are basically attached, and that's not always fun. Switching back to Acid Rain before we finish this one up, we got to see some badass looking bikes. What is this? This is absolutely raw. I'm not quite sure if this is going to end up being specifically for Acid Rain, or maybe they were just putting Acid Rain stuff inside of it, just because obviously this is a 1/18 scale bike. But this looks really cool, and it looks like it's going to be fairly modular, almost like an Akira type of motorcycle. So we'll see what they end up doing with this, but it almost looks like it's going to have a movable front wheel for being able to turn, right? So that would be nice if they end up giving us that. It does look big enough that they could put those kinds of stuff in it, but you know, if it ends up being a static bike, I mean, I like that too. But this is really cool. I want to see what it would look like paint. Now this right here is a two-fold, so it's the exact same one that we just saw a second ago, but it seems to be it's had a lot of pieces peeled back. So I wonder if it's going to be modular in the sense that you'll be able to kind of adjust how the actual motorcycle looks. You'll be able to pull stuff off, put stuff on it. But on top of that, we get an Omanga Trooper just kind of chilling on it. So I wonder if this is going to be specifically an Omanga thing, or if it's just going to be for all armies. I'm hoping that they end up giving us an Omanga Trooper with it if it's going to come in that manner. Because again, we need more Omanga stuff, and if they're not going to give us brand new stuff, then at least re-release some of the older stuff so we can still army build those guys. Now obviously, this being a convention, we ended up getting a photo of an actual final product of what it would look like, and damn, this looks bad ass. Those big guns on the top with the belts behind it for ammo, this is going to be a phenomenal looking piece. And this is how you do a motorcycle with weapons correctly. Looks dope, looks menacing, looks very Acid Rain like. Again, I'm wondering if this is for Acid Rain or is a different IP, because it doesn't exactly look like an Acid Rain type of thing, right? It looks a little different. And it could be an Omanga thing or it could be something else, but I really like what I'm seeing here. And I do hope that if it's not Omanga, if it's something else, some kind of mecha cavalry, that we do end up getting a new faction to go with it. That would be pretty choice. And then finally, we did get some photos of that troop transport that we've been covering for the past few days, from Acid Rain, and it looks great. The paintwork looks fine. This looks large. I wish we could have gotten live photos of this with the any kind of Acid Rain figure next to it, just for scale. I mean, I know more or less what it's going to look like, but when you see photos like this of the actual photo in hand, candid like this, that's when you can really gauge size. So I really wish I could have gotten one of those, but again, this still looks perfectly fine. And I think everybody who's into this and who likes buying this troop transport stuff, this is going to be where the money's at. I think this is where you'll be really proud to spend your money.